Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2021 with Southampton in the beta. We are approaching the end of Season 2 and I think we've actually kept our job, which if you missed earlier on in the season, it's a bit of a shock to me as well. I mean, it's not confirmed that we're keeping our job because since the last episode we haven't particularly been on a good run. We have beaten Watford because we played Nice in the last episode, didn't we? We beat Watford 2-0, Oxlade, Chamberlain and Romeu, which I think might have even been included in the last episode. I can't quite remember. Then, into April, we played Leeds United, losing 2-1. Danny Ings did manage to score in this one. He hasn't scored for a while. So I gave him a little slap on the wrist and he kind of woke up a bit. Against Arsenal, a 1-1 draw here, which was actually probably less than what we deserved. We were the better side. We only got the one goal, St Maximin, and then they scored an equaliser in about the 80th minute. Against Brighton, we lose because we can't beat Brighton. I don't think we've ever beaten... we have beaten them earlier. We literally beat them about a month ago. We lost 1-0 against Brighton, away from home, and then we picked up another point against Manchester City in a somewhat unexpected result as well. Danny Ings and Carl Walker-Peters rescuing a point for us in this one. I say rescuing... we probably should have won because Danny Ings should have scored 2 goals. He missed a penalty. It means today then, with 4 games left of the season, we're going to be up against Brentford. We're also going to play the final 3 matches as part of this episode as well. So the season will be finishing in episode 10 of season 2. We find ourselves 10th place in the table. We have that magic 40 points. We can still technically get relegated. Technically. If we beat Brentford, we'll go on to 44 points. Which still means technically we could get relegated as well if Leicester, Leeds win their games, basically. So it's still possible, but I don't think it's going to happen. Also, some news about the takeover. It's still not happened. It might happen. It's not happened. It's on the table. It's off the table. Someone else jumps on top of the table, does a little dance on the table. Then they fall off the table. Then somebody else gets... It's weird. I don't understand. It's literally been most of the season we have been in this process of a board takeover. Also, asking for a friend. Do we do this? Do we sign Gareth Bale? I feel like we shouldn't. He's going to cost about £160,000 a week, which is a lot of money. But do we do it? Do we sign Gareth Bale, bring him home, like we did with Walcott, like we've done with Oxlade-Chamberlain until the end of the season? I kind of want to. We can't do it because of the takeover. This takeover needs to sort itself out, and then we can maybe sign Gareth Bale for next season. Literally a day later, takeover collapses. We have been removed from our transfer embargo, so we should now be able to maybe offer a contract to Gareth Bale. He wants to come in as a fringe player. Which is good, because I'm not going to play him. But I imagine £130,000 a week. That's a lot of money for a year. Maybe 2 years if he plays 5 games. If we can get that down to 100, which is still ridiculous. It is still far too much money. But if we can drop them down, see if he goes for it. He wants 1.7. It will take... okay, 1.5. He's not good enough, but he's Gareth Bale. So then, it is 10th versus 16th today then. Southampton versus Brentford at St Mary's Stadium. We haven't beaten Brentford. We've only played them once, obviously, because they start off in the Championship. We lost to them just kind of in the middle of our really poor run earlier on in the season. Basically, I think it was end of December when we played them first time round. We were not very good. Hopefully, we're a much improved side. 3 points should secure us safety for another season, and hopefully should secure us our job for another season as well. The starting lineup then for the Brentford game will be Livakovic in goal. A back four of Walker-Peters, Eric Bailly, Mohamed Salisu and Barry Rogers. Yes, that Barry Rogers. He's back. He's 16. He might even be 17 actually. He is 17 years old now. Barry Rogers is going to be getting his first start or first game of the season in the first team. He's improving. He's getting better. Not as quick as we'd like, but he's getting better. We're going to be playing Ward-Prowse, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Mady Kamara in the middle of the pitch with St Maximin on the right, Shea Adams on the left and Danny Ings as our striker. Danny Ings, since basically December, has suddenly learned where the goal is. He's got 17 goals all season now, which I think might be similar to what he scored last season. So we've got 16 in the league, 18 in all competitions. He's got 12 in the league, 17 in all competitions this season. Danny Ings has suddenly turned up for the second half of this year. Right, team talk-wise, let's give the fans... no, we owe them. We owe them. Can we say we owe them? We should be winning this one fairly comfortably. I mean, outstretched arms, praise. If we play a game, we'll be very capable. That'll do. That seems to work. So I'm pretty sure when we played Brentford last time, it was only 1-0, but we played badly. And it was a match that I was expecting us to play not really well, but expecting us to do well enough that we could possibly get a point, ideally win the game. So far, we are, 12 minutes in? Nothing has happened. Brentford have had a shot, but apparently it wasn't from a particularly good position, as it's a 0.04 XG. Livakovic with the goal kick to Eric Bailly. Ward-Prowse back to Mohamed Salisu, that's his name. Adams to Madi Kamara. Barry Rogers chests the ball down. Go on, Bazza. Mbeumo's nicked the ball away from Barry Rogers, which isn't ideal. Walker-Peters forward to St Maximin, who I think has been a pretty good signing for us this season. In all of the poor performances we've had, St Maximin's kind of been one of the standout performers. Walker-Peters crosses it in. Shay Adams is there, and that's a shocking own goal. I think David Raya is going to be the one, or David Raya, don't know. Either way, the goalkeeper is chalking that one up as an own goal to himself. I'd like to think that Barry Rogers was involved in that move because he did have it at some point, but he did get tackled by Brian Mbeumo. Walker-Peters with a throw, 25 minutes on the clock. Leeds United have taken the lead against Manchester City. Not that it's relevant, but it's just interesting to me. Oxlade-Chamberlain, edge of the penalty area, takes a few touches, tries to get the ball into the back of the net, and he does absolutely magnificently to just dink it into the top corner. 2-0 up against Brentford. This looks like we are sticking in the Premier League for another season. All we need now is Barry Rogers to score. If we can get Bazza on the score sheet, or even an assist, I think this is going to be a successful day. Obviously, we still need to win the match. Ward-Prowse with a free kick right before half-time. Salisu, unmarked, completely unmarked. The Ghanaian central defender smashes that into the back of the net. His third goal of the season, 3-0 up before we even get to 45 minutes. Still not quite at half-time. Barry Rogers' throw. Tries to find Shay Adam, can't manage it. And now Mbeumo's going to come forward with the ball. In front, I think that's Madi Kamara with him. He does collect the ball. Now Barry Rogers plays it forward. Danny Ings isn't going to get there. Leeds? It's not Leeds. They're wearing white, okay? It confused me. They're wearing white. It's not. It's Brentford. Fraser has the ball on that left-hand side. He's played it on the ground. Oxlade-Chamberlain steals this away, and the counter-attack is now on. Danny Ings is in front. Oxlade-Chamberlain slots the ball through to the England international, and Danny Ings gets his 18th goal of the season. It's 4-0. We're not even at half-time. This is what I was hoping we would have done against Brentford when we played them first time around, and lost 1-0. We are just dominant, absolutely dominant. We are supposedly have scored one goal, barely a goal according to XG. We've got 4 before even half-time happened. I don't think we're going to do anything at the break because, let's face it, we're battering them. It is a bit worrying as well, now because we are just 4-0 up at half-time, our entire subs bench are complacent. And because they're complacent, we're probably not going to bring anybody on unless we really need to. Barry Rogers is going to get his first 90 minutes of the season, and he's doing alright. I mean, he's not doing amazing. He's on a 6-8, but so is Eric Bailly. I'd love to make it 5. I'd love to get 5 goals. We're up to 9th in the table. If we get 5, actually, we'll have 0 goal difference after 35 games. I will take that. Now, I was saying I wasn't going to do any subs, but I want to kind of freshen some things up. Midfield-wise, people are looking quite tired. We're going to take Ward-Prowse off. Gravenberch is coming on. We're going to do that. I think we're going to drop Kamara back as the regista. Do we swap you two over? I don't know. I mean, Oxlade-Chamberlain as a Mazzala seems to be a lot more... Like, that makes more sense to me. Does that make sense to anyone else? Probably not. Just the one sub for us at the moment, but St Maximin's just dropped down a little bit of fitness as well, so he'll probably be coming off within the next few minutes. So we're going to bring on Armstrong on that right-hand side. I'm also going to take off Eric Bailly because he's having a shocker. He's on a 6-5. Bednarek is going to come on. That is all of our subs. So big bad Barry Rogers, who's 5'5", is going to get 90 minutes under his belt. He's the worst performer by a country mile, but, you know, sometimes children need to play football, don't they? He's not even my best youth prospect, but I've decided that Barry Rogers is the one that I'm going to try and drag up to a certain level, kicking and screaming. Well, the second half against Brentford was non-existent, wasn't it? It is non-existent. We are staying 10th place in the table because Aston Villa, I think, might have won their game or drawn their game. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 shots. 3 shots in the second half. They just shut up shop. They didn't want to concede anymore. Barry Rogers gets a 7.0. Successful night at St Mary's. Or day. It's probably day. Look, it's daytime, isn't it? It's sunny out. So, although the season isn't over, we've still got 3 games to play. I think we're safe. I think we are actually safe now because, like I said, we've got 3 games left to play. We are... I can't do the maths in my head, but we're a long way clear now of the relegation zone. Hopefully, when I hit this, it says that we're safe. Are we safe? We're not quite safe yet. We're not... Did we get the Europa League too? Okay, maybe not. Right, I'm going to go forward then to the end of the season. We're going to play Liverpool, Manchester City and Chelsea in the final 3 games. Expect us to pick up 1 point maybe out of all of those games. We're only playing 1 at home as well. So yeah, we're not going to do particularly well. And then we'll be back for the end of season review. And hopefully we don't get fired. We did sign a new contract not that long ago. So that's probably meaning we're not going to get sacked. Right then, we have played the final 3 games of the season. And we picked up 3 points. We actually managed to win one of the games. So we started off with a 2-1 defeat against Liverpool. They scored in about the 84th minute to score their winner in that one. Ben Chilwell with the goal for us. Against Manchester City, we win this one 3-2. Salisu, St Maximin and Danny Ings. We should have actually scored a 4th in this one as well. I think St Maximin was 1-on-1 with the keeper. Should have passed it across to Ings. Went for goal himself and then hit it wide. So yeah, we managed to pick up 3 points though. And then in the final game of the season, a 2-1 defeat against Chelsea. Again, we probably should have done a bit better than what we actually did. We deserved a draw in this one. I think, Jenipo scored, and I think he probably should have scored 1 or 2 more as well. We just couldn't get that second goal that we needed, basically, to keep us in this match. And with that result as well, it means the season is over, and we have finished 11th place. Now, rewind back, 4 episodes, probably even less than that, where we were, 16th, 15th, 16th, something like that, really struggling for form in a relegation scrap. We finished comfortably in the middle of the table, which I'm happy with that. I'm genuinely happy with how we've turned the season around. Danny Ings, if we look at the top goal scoring chart, he's actually on there, joint 11th place with Adama Traore, but joint 11th place, which is actually really good, considering he only scored 3 goals in the first half of the season, to then score another 11 in the second half. That's a good turnaround. Interestingly, Watford, Burnley and Leicester have all been relegated. Obviously, Watford they start in the Championship, so that's not a massive surprise. But Leicester going down, that's interesting. Because next season, we could do with some strengthening. And I'm assuming next season, some of these players are going to want to be leaving this club. So we might need to take a look and see if we can pick any of these guys up for cheap. And there must be some good players here. Some good players playing for Leicester that we can pinch that would actually improve our squad. Like Wilfred Ndidi, for example. I mean, we're gonna add him to a shortlist. We're gonna add him to a shortlist for 6 months. He's extremely expensive, but also extremely good. We get ourselves a bit of money as well, because obviously finishing 11th place, we get nearly £20 million. That's good to see. Spurs stayed up. They did, didn't they? Was that a final day staying up? They lost to Norwich and still stayed up. They got extremely lucky in that one. Bunch of people getting paid. Fair enough. Oh, Bednarek's played 125 games for us. That's actually surprisingly a lot. End of season review then. I genuinely love this. This is one of my favourite new things about the game, is this end of season review. It's amazing. It literally shows you nothing more than what it did last season and last year's game, and probably the 5 before that. But it's just presented really nicely. New arrivals then. What have we got on our first tab, if it loads, please? We got there in the end. So, new arrivals, that's transfers out. This is transfers in. It's going slow. It's going extremely slow right now. Click transfers in. There we go. So Ben Chilwell, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Livakovic by St Maximin, Papa Cheek Diop. Armini also apparently came in this season. Played 2 games off the bench. Quite a lot of people came in this season, didn't they? Did buy a lot of footballers. And a couple of people didn't actually play. Why have you got a star next to you? The board absolutely loved that one. So everyone else they were all right with. Nothing major. But the star they absolutely love. Average rating then. In theory, Chilwell was our best signing. I know I said earlier, probably in the episode, that St Maximin was probably one of our best. But Chilwell, apparently 7.01. He did have some absolutely shocking games though. Players loaned out as well. This is interesting. Mainly for Ali Akman, because he went to Ross County, scored 22 goals in 37 games. He's decent, isn't he? He's actually getting very good. I think Ross County won the league. They must have won the league. They did win the league. I think they were running away with it eventually. And so Ali Akman might be playing for us next season if he actually gets a proper work permit. A few other players there you can see. All of these guys going out on loan. Ricky J. Jones got 14 games. That's good. Leon Pambu went to Wrexham in the end, got 9 matches. He's a promising youngster. So quite a few players went out, did a bit of business. I'm not sure why that is a 1, but fine. The season's result then, the Saints suffered a disappointing campaign, finishing shy of their pre-season expectations thanks largely to a poor run of form around October and November and December. In fact, I'd argue from September the 19th is where our poor form started, losing against Norwich, then Wolves, then Man United, then Fulham, then Liverpool, Aston Villa, Manchester United, Watford, Brentford, Arsenal. We're into December now at this point, and then the Leeds United game, which I still stand, and I will say that that was the turning point. That defeat was so close to a victory that it just gave us the kick in the arse that we needed. And then all of a sudden, the second half of the season wasn't amazing, but we did suddenly pick up some very good and very useful points. 4-0 against Spurs, 2-0 against Norwich as well, 2-0 against Burnley, the 4-0 as well we've just seen against Brentford earlier on in this episode, and obviously the 3-2 victory against Man City. Europa League, not so impressive in the Europa League, getting knocked out by Nice in the second knockout round. We probably should have gone through, but I'm kind of glad we did get knocked out, because I blame the Europa League for our poor performance. It probably had nothing to do with it, but that's what I'm doing. And then FA Cup, we lost to Liverpool. Carabao Cup, we lost to Derby. We didn't want cup competitions. Moments to remember then. The 4-0 victory against Dynamo Kiev was the biggest win. Also, Brentford was the biggest win. The Europa Cup match to remember, that was actually an episode, and it was a match to remember. We were 2-0 down in 75 minutes, and then came and won it 3-2 on a snowy night in the Ukraine. And then goal of the season goes to Michael Obafemi against Manchester United. Fair enough. A marvellous goal from the on-loan Southampton striker. He was not on loan. He plays for us. It's a shame that this goal didn't mean anything, because it was obviously in a 4-2 defeat. But let's take a look at this Michael Obafemi goal. I think he just runs it, doesn't he? Collects the ball on the halfway line late on into the game. Goes out wide. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't an amazing goal. It was a good goal, but it wasn't amazing, was it? Finances then. We actually were one of the most profitable teams of the season. We were one, I think, in transfers anyway. I think we only lost about 4 million in transfers, and we were actually top of that little, the graph that they show with transfer expenditure. We spent minus 4 million. We spent 4 million more than we brought in. Those are words, but we were the highest one. So we did all right financially. Bits of numbers, some numbers and monies. A few bits have gone up. Corporate and hospitality seems to have increased. Matchday commercial retail has gone up. Competition prize money hasn't changed much, considering we got reasonably far in the old Europa League there. Sponsorship as well, not changed too much either. And the top shirt sellers, Ings, Ward-Prowse, St Maximin, Maddie Kamara and Nathan Redmond. Redmond might not be here next season. I might try and sell him. So how we lined up then? I guess I'm glad this has picked the vertical tiki-taka formation, not the 4-2-4 that we were trying, because didn't quite work, did it? Livakovic is our number one goalkeeper, because we played 3 others as well. I think we played 5 goalkeepers this season, because we played Livakovic, we played Berkey, we played Angus Gunn, we played Forster, and we also played, Schlager. So yeah, we played 5 goalkeepers this season. That's a lot of goalkeepers. So that starting 11 there is pretty standard, isn't it? Romeo maybe the only question mark. Gravenberch kind of made himself sort of one of the first names on the team sheet in the latter half of the season. Accolades then. I did win Manager of the Month. I won Manager of the Month for March. It's the first time I've won Manager of the Month. I remember this now because I got an achievement for it. Club Awards, Fans Player of the Season, Ward-Prowse. Young player goes to Salisu. I think that's the second time in a row. Livakovic's signing of the season. Obafemi, as we know, with goal of the season. Ings gets 14 goals. Walker-Peters with 9 assists. Kamara with 3 Man of the Match awards. And an highest average rating of 7.131034. Still, they need to do something with that, because that number, just do a 7.13, that's fine, I'll understand that. Record breakers, 19 goals for Danny Ings in all competitions, 10 clean sheets for Livakovic. 10 clean sheets. He's played 27 games and got 10 clean sheets. Actually, he played 27 games and got 12 clean sheets. Kamara loves a yellow card. No red cards at all this season. St Maximin there being the highest transfer fee of nearly £30 million. Competition awards, nothing at all. And some other ones which don't fall under that is the overall best 11. So Fraser Forster is our number 1 keeper. Walker-Peters and Chilwell. Okay, Bertrand's already been kicked out of that already. Salisu and Bednarek in the middle. I agree with both of those. Kamara and Ward-Prowse. Walcott on the right. Yep, because he did have a very good first season. Second season, he was playing for Kilmarnock. Janapo on the left. Ings and Adams as the strikers. I mean, to be fair, This is very similar to what Southampton play in real life, bar Chilwell and Kamara, because they don't actually play there. And I guess Genepo, because he's not that good. And Forster. It's nothing like how Southampton play in real life. It's Ings and Adams are kind of, and Walcott and Ward-Prowse. So it's nothing like it. Right then, Mr. Gal, what do you want from me next season? Which will likely be the final season of this Southampton save. I'm never planning on doing a huge save with Southampton, just to kind of understand how the game works, because it's the beta and all that jazz. So what are we going to do? They want us to develop players, which we're doing. Barry Rodgers, he is the prime example. Possession football, attacking football, entertaining football. Sign players under the age of 20 for the future. I try and do that. Work within the wage budget, fine, sell some players, or sign players to sell for a profit, and then mid-table, and he's still looking to sell. Right then, team, next season, everyone seems in a good mood already. It's a slightly positive atmosphere already. So next season, we're able to avoid relegation. Nope. Don't want to be involved. Mid-table. Let's go for mid-table. The season has now finished. We're going for mid-table. Please, come on guys, the boss is right, we can get a mid-table, we can Mohamed Salisu, I agree, that's exactly the sort of reaction we're after. Promises for next season. Lots of people are agreeable and encouraged. If they're agreeable, does that mean I can basically just turn around to them and say, hey, I'm going to do something absolutely ridiculous? They go, well, he is the manager. I'm tempted to say this, I'm prepared to accept suitable offers for any of you if they come in for you and you want to leave. Now that is because Stuart Armstrong, Romeo and Bertrand have all said that they want to leave. So we're going to say that, and it might be a big risk. Okay, negative. I might be alone, but I'm not bothered. Well, that's good, because you're one of the players who actually has interest in them. That's fine. I think that's enough promises. I've ruined everything. Thanks very much. I've ruined it. Lots of people are pessimistic. The people who are pessimistic are the ones that want to bloody leave. Well, I have to say that... I kind of balls that up, didn't I? Shay Adams also will not... Oh, no. Shay Adams wants to leave as well. I've definitely balls that up. New season report, then. So, they're kind of giving me... I mean, this doesn't make sense. So, this is my squad for next season. Apart from Bailly and Oxlade-Chamberlain aren't going to be here. So, why are they even including them? Bailly's not going to be here. I want to try and extend Oxlade-Chamberlain's loan deal. So, can we do that? Is that an option? Can we do that now? That's a lot. That's a lot of money. I don't really want to pay... I mean, I'll pay 100. Pay 100,000 and an optional fee of £49 million. Well then, I guess that is it for Season 2, and somehow we have managed to survive. The big blip through October, through to January, is... we've got past that, we've got over it. That is good to see. Next season then, like I said, will probably be the final season with the Southampton save. Obviously, the beta will be coming out of beta. The game will be coming out, basically, in a few days' time as of this release. And for me, it's a few more days. But basically, I'm going to carry this on until we get to a sensible stopping point. So probably at the end of Season 3, that's going to be the plan. Thank you very much for watching this episode, this season as well with Southampton. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like. If you are new here and you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell as well so you know when Season 3 begins, which will probably be tomorrow at 5 PM UK time. But yeah, do make sure you catch Season 3. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time.